Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you clicked on this, let's be real, you're probably totally burnt out. You're exhausted by the whole 9 to 5 grind, right? Dragging yourself out of bed every morning for a boss you don't even like, just to sit there and watch other people make absolute bank on the internet while you're still trading your precious time for a paycheck. Well, today, we're breaking down a fully documented, highly actionable escape plan. We are talking about a literal blueprint to break you out of that exact cycle, and we're going to do it using AI. Because seriously, are you tired of making your boss rich while you stay broke? It is an absolutely soul-crushing feeling to grind it out for 40-plus hours a week, only to open up your banking app on a Friday and just stare at a totally depressing balance. If you're broke, if you hate your boss, or if you just know in your gut that there has to be a better, smarter way to generate income, this blueprint is literally built for you. We're going to go fast, we're going to be incredibly actionable, and we're going to outline exactly how you can flip the script. And we know for a fact that this works because of one very specific number, $5,219. Let that sink in. That is not a monthly salary. That's the exact amount generated in a single 24-hour period. And get this, it wasn't done by shipping heavy boxes or coding some crazy complex software. Nope, it was done by selling super simple digital products, specifically PDF guides. This is a proven, thoroughly data-backed system, and we're going to break down the exact 5 levels used to pull it off. Okay, let's dive into this. Level 1, finding the emotional product. So here is where most people completely fail. You cannot just guess what people want to buy. You need to find a real-time, highly painful problem to solve. We use a tool called PDF Trend Lab for this. It literally scrapes search data from Google, Reddit, and Twitter to tell you exactly what painful problems people are actively desperate to resolve right now. And here's why that specific data is an absolute game changer. Nobody, and I mean literally nobody, is ever going to buy a PDF guide on how to brush your teeth. They already know how. It's a purely logical, incredibly boring task. But something like fixing a choppy sleeper? Listen, if you are an exhausted parent who hasn't slept a full night in 6 straight months, you are in immense emotional pain. You aren't just buying a PDF guide. You are buying the hope of a good night's sleep. Emotional problems sell. Logical problems, they just don't. That brings us to finding the ultimate digital product sweet spot. We're talking about pricing these PDF guides somewhere between $9 and $27. Let me tell you, this price range is basically a cheat code. It's an absolute no-brainer for the buyer. Think about it. They're getting immense emotional relief. And at $15 or $20, they don't even overthink the purchase. This psychology leads to massive volume. And amazingly, out of $5,000 in total sales, there were only $125 in refunds. That is wild. Barely any returns, 0 shipping costs, just pure, beautiful margin. Let's move along and see how this builds. Level 2, AI does the heavy lifting. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking right now. But I'm not a writer. I can't write a whole 30-page guide. Well, guess what? You don't have to be. You do not need to be an expert author or some literary genius to fulfill this product, because artificial intelligence is going to step in and do all the heavy lifting for you. Here is the exact rapid-fire tech stack used to generate these highly profitable guides in literally minutes. Step 1, you grab your proven, data-backed idea from PDF Trend Lab. Step 2, you take that exact idea straight over to Claude AI. You literally just prompt Claude to write an entire PDF guide full of actionable steps based on real-life experiences. You can even tell the AI to rewrite your titles, make them punchier, really dial up that emotional hook. And finally, step 3, you grab a stunning, copyright-free cover image from Unsplash, paste the AI's text into Canva to make it look professional, and boom, you have a ready-to-sell product, the whole shebang. Which brings us nicely to level 3, setting up your storefront. Because look, having a great product is really only half the battle. Where you sell this guide is honestly just as important as what you are selling. You need a platform that actually turns passive visitors into active buyers. Now, what's really interesting about this is this massive 3.67% conversion rate. That is huge for digital products, and it was achieved by using Shopify. Why Shopify? Because it lets you fully customize the website to create this completely immersive premium experience for the customer. If you were to take this exact same guide and slap it on a crowded marketplace like Etsy, you're instantly going head-to-head with established sellers who already have tens of thousands of reviews. Your shiny new listing, it just gets buried. By customizing your own standalone storefront, you control the entire buying environment, which totally spikes that conversion rate. Now we need traffic. Enter level 4, the YouTube influencer hack. Okay, this is the very first phase of the traffic engine, and you're going to want to pay super close attention here because setting up this initial wave of traffic is absolutely required to unlock the real secret sauce later on. You have to understand the underlying psychology of where your traffic is actually coming from. Like, why focus on YouTube instead of TikTok or Instagram Reels? Well, look at the fundamental difference in user behavior. On TikTok, it's a frantic 15-second swipe. It's fast, it's fleeting, and honestly, it builds very low trust. But on YouTube, someone might actively sit down and watch a deeply engaging 27-minute video from a creator they already love and follow. That builds deep, incredible trust. So when a YouTube influencer in your exact niche looks at the camera and recommends your $15 guide, their audience doesn't hesitate. They are incredibly hot, primed leads. Let's actually look at the math on how this primed the entire store. By reaching out and partnering with a parenting YouTuber, the upfront cost was just $700, plus a 15% affiliate cut on the back end for any sales they brought in. The result of that one deal? That single integration drove $15,000 in revenue over just 30 days. It generated thousands of highly targeted site visitors and hundreds of real paying buyers before a single traditional advertisement was ever even run. And finally, welcome to Level 5, Scaling with Lookalike Ads. Now, don't get me wrong, a $15,000 month is amazing, but it was really just the warm-up. This is exactly how you take that initial burst of influencer success and scale it to a massive $5,219 in a single day. And it all relies on this one little invisible piece of technology, the pixel. Put simply, the pixel is just a tracker installed behind the scenes on your Shopify store. It logs every single thing a visitor does, when they view a page, when they add an item to their cart, and, crucially, when they actually purchase. It's constantly collecting all this rich data so that when you finally do start running paid ads, you don't waste your hard-earned money showing your specialized parenting guide to some random guy named Jeff in Utah who doesn't even have kids. The pixel basically warms up and gets smart by closely watching exactly what that highly targeted YouTube influencer audience does on your site. So let's walk through this exact brilliant pipeline. First, the YouTube shoutout drives a massive flood of highly targeted traffic right to your store. Second, your pixel sits there and logs all of their specific behaviors, especially all those highly valuable add to carts over the last 180 days. Third, you go into Facebook and tell it to build a custom audience out of those specific actions. And fourth, guys, this is where the absolute magic happens. You tell the algorithm to go out and create a lookalike audience. Suddenly, instead of guessing, you are instantly reaching millions of potential new buyers who share the exact same behavioral traits as the people who literally just bought your product. And this brilliantly illustrates why this method is so incredibly profitable. Just look at the old way versus the new way. Cold targeting, it's literally just guessing. It's you sitting at a keyboard, manually typing in parents with 3 to 5-year-olds and just crossing your fingers hoping for the best. That gets you terrible, expensive conversion rates. But a lookalike audience, specifically targeting that hyper-focused 3 to 4% lookalike range based on your actual pixel data, that is handing you millions of proven buyer clones. The algorithm already knows these people have a high intent to buy. It is the ultimate scaling cheat code. So there it is. You have the blueprint. You know exactly how to find the burning emotional problem, how to use AI to do all the heavy lifting for the actual product, how to set up a high-converting storefront, how to prime the pump with a targeted YouTuber, and exactly how to scale it to the moon with lookalike pixel data to hit over $5,000 a day. The roadmap completely out of your 9 to 5 is sitting right in front of you. So seriously, stop making excuses. Stop endlessly scrolling. What is actually stopping you from putting this exact system to work today? Get out there and build your escape plan. Thanks for exploring this with me.